What's up, guys? Filming episode 68 here in the offices Monday morning, about halfway through, but we're talking about, just give you a little up-to-date United flights, deplaning of Dr. David Dow. We're talking about that a little bit because this month's topic is flying the friendly skies. And really it's about breaking trust and how marketing can actually create trust and kind of contrasting both of those together. So follow along with me. All right, guys, so let's talk about how marketing can create trust. So I want to give you 4 points, and the first one is to accurately portray your practice. I think with marketing, the number one lesson is let's not be something that we're not. Let's show people who we are. Now, I have to admit, end of last year, I got kind of suckered into this whole Instagram ad, and I bought a leather coat through Instagram. And I know even as I say that, you're kind of like, oh my gosh. But it was $59, which I just realized like how this starts to sound. $59 leather coat on Instagram, but the picture looked amazing. And I was like, if I get that coat for $59, that's a score. It ended up being some type of Instagram or a Kickstarter-like thing where I think they were waiting for a minimum number of orders before they produced them. And so it took about 8 weeks. It was coming from China. And when the coat arrived, so I've actually got it right here. I don't have the ad to show you what it looked like, but this was the coat. And now I'm sure you're probably looking at it and go, that looks awesome. It's less leather and more vinyl. I ordered a large because that's usually fine. And when I went to put this thing on, I get it about right there. Man, that's a large. And I mean, yeah. So a little bit smaller than what I was thinking, doesn't quite fit. I actually gave the coat to my son for Christmas, wrapped it up, put it in a box, put a bow on it, and said Merry Christmas. He loves it. There's no 11-year-old at school that has a coat that kind of looks like that. So, but in the end, it was like, if it looks, it violated one of my rules of life, right? Which is if it looks too good to be true.
Hold on, this framing is a little bit off. It's gonna bother me.
It's okay.
I was trying to see if it's like doable, but I should just
stop.
Should just pause it.
Time out. We got a framing issue.
Okay.
I will hold this.
There you go. Cool. Sorry about that.
That's what. You can always do it again.
Really what it was is I just wanted to see you put that coat on again.
I know. It is. It is a good time. All right.
Go for it.
We good? All right, round 2, take 2. All right, everybody, so let's talk about how marketing can actually build trust, okay? And I've got 4 points here. Number 1 is to accurately represent your practice. So rule number 1 on marketing is just don't try to be something you're not. Just focus on what you do best and communicate that. So, to be honest, at the end of last year, towards last fall, kind of coming into the holiday season, I saw this Instagram ad come up, and it was for a leather coat, and it was for, the coat was $59. It looked online, this image was awesome. It was this amazing gray leather coat for 59 bucks, and I thought, wow, that looks awesome, and I actually went ahead and bought it, which I rarely do, and I realized you're like, what? Why would you do that? But I thought, if I could get a coat like that for $59, that's a win. That's a big time score. So I went ahead and I placed the order. It ended up being some type of Kickstarter-like project. I think they were waiting for a certain minimum number of orders before they actually produced these things. And it was coming from China, so it ended up taking like 8 weeks. To that point where you're like, where is this thing at? And when it shows up, I got it here. When it shows up, so it's gray, and probably to you there on the screen, it looks nice. It's kind of got this like fake fur lining, but man, it's way less leather and a whole lot more like vinyl. And the stitching and everything it just doesn't look great. The other part of it is I ordered a large, which is normally fine, but I went to put this thing on, so I was like, well, we'll see. And I get it to about right there. And man, I can't go anymore. Right? I would pop the seams, but that's it. That's my large fur or my large leather coat from Instagram. Actually ended up just boxing it up, putting a bow and a ribbon on it, and gave it to my son for Christmas. And he loves it. But you know what? I completely deserve it. It violated one of my main principles of life, which is if it's too good to be true, it probably is. And what I failed to realize is that there are companies online right now that are literally making, all they're doing is their success is based off of one transaction. That's it. All they needed to do was sell X number of coats. Once they did, it was profitable to them. They made their money. They're out. They don't care about me as a repeat buyer. But creating a business for one transaction versus creating a business for long-term loyal patients are two different things.
Sweet.
That's
Good
number
job.
one. All right, number two, targets. All right, number two is target a relevant audience. We're coming out of this like 80s, 90s broadcast television where it was just put your commercial in front of as many people as possible. And I think that's even somewhere these data points come in, like impressions and how many people saw your ad. But it's less about broadcast and it's more about targeting. We cannot waste money and, more importantly, people's attention broadcasting stuff that's irrelevant. If we can target people in our communities with a relevant service, now we're creating trust.
Easy, quick point.
Yep. Number two. Oh, where's my other visual? Here it is. Okay. All right, and number three, we're talking about ways that our marketing can create trust is don't oversell. Man, just don't oversell it. And I think when we think of business as more of like a journey, then we know that we're going to have multiple touch points along the way. There's going to be multiple steps. If we kind of freak out and think, I've got one chance, one ad, then the tendency is to shove everything we have into one ad. And in the end, the tone, the voice of it becomes too overreaching, too much. We're overselling it. The other day I got this brochure in the mail. Sorry, I'm stepping out of frame a lot here, but so local dental practice, doesn't matter who it is, and this is kind of your normal flyer, brochure, right? I could probably tell you what company produced this, but it was interesting as I'm watching this, as I'm looking at this, just how much they're overselling and they're trying to communicate. Appointments 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. on Saturdays and Sundays. I know some of you are doing Saturdays. They're doing Sundays. We offer patient pickup service. Braces, half the cost, half the time. Eat, chew, and smile naturally again with dental implants. One trusted office for all your dental needs. We love insurance. Free adult whitening, free adult exam, free child cleaning and exam, free second opinion evaluation. Affordable dental care membership for $18.99 a month. I'm not making this up. Literally, there's like bullet points right here of everything. And so in the end, when I see that, it's just like, it's too much. And if you feel like all you have is one shot, you're gonna do something like this. If you feel like your marketing is a journey, it's creating a relationship, well then take people along with that and tell them your story through multiple touch points along the way.
That was awesome. Most of that ad is ridiculous.
That's funny, isn't it? Okay. All right, and number four is have a heart. Have a heart. And I kind of pulled in Southwest Airlines for this one because it's a good contrast with United. But all of Southwest ads right now, I love their advertising. I love that they take this machine that's this big plane and they put a heart on it. And they talk about how it's not just a machine, but it's a machine, but it has a heart, and how they have a heart. And I think that's amazing. And right now, it's very trendy to have a mission-based organization or even have a commerce company or a service-based company that has a mission behind it that's driving it. But I don't think that that's going away. In fact, I think that that's going to become the way we do business. Is there's you as a practice or as an organization, but it's like, what drives you? What do you believe in? What are your values? What can you promise patients or customers? And so I think that whole conversation of what is it that you believe and what can you promise people, that's going to become very, very important. I think it already is. You know, I think United, that's where some of that just broke down is, will we promise to treat people with dignity? Yes, because I'm not sure that that happened. And so it's really a lack of humanity. And when we bring the heart back into it, when we bring the beliefs and the promises, we start to treat people with dignity, those are the businesses that win. And so kind of 4 points from me on how your advertising can actually create trust.
Sweet. Done.
Cool.
That's it. 4 points, creating trust with advertising. And thanks for being here. We're out. And